Instead of separate but equal, there is separate and forgotten. I will confront another form of bias, the soft bigotry of low expectations. No child in America should be segregated by low expectations, imprisoned by illiteracy, abandoned to frustration and the darkness of self-doubt.
Now, unfortunately, we are seeing that so-called soft bigotry at Rutgers University. The New Jersey College recently announced it will now de-emphasize the use of traditional grammar in its attempt to stand in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. The university claims that this will empower students and equip them to push against biases based on written accents. Is that so? Joining me now is Carol Swain, author and former professor at Princeton and Vanderbilt universities. Carol, I am speechless. Takes a lot to get me to be speechless, but they're basically telling students of color that I guess they cannot grasp the language, or that the language itself is somehow racist?
Laura, it's even worse than that, because it's Black Lives Matter and Black people who claim to be activists that are really pushing for lowered standards for Black students. And if you think about critical race theory, the assumption is that if you're white, you're privileged, and that racism is permanent, that whites have to divest themselves of whiteness, but behind all of that is white superiority that Black people are pushing. And so what they're saying is that Black people can't learn the same way as other groups, so they have to have this special treatment. And when I went to college, I started in the 70s, I was in graduate school in the 1980s, we were given an equal opportunity. We were admitted to colleges and universities, and we had to do the work. And like that, you had to qualify, you got an opportunity to be there, but once you were there, you had to meet the same standards as everyone else. It was either sink or drown or whatever the expression is, but you had to do the work. And so to me, it's so demeaning that these Black young people today who are more privileged, that have not really had to go through any real systemic racism, they're complaining the loudest, and they're getting cheated out of a quality education.
Well, unless you think this is some line of thinking, Dr. Swain, that it's confined to one college. Well, this is what an ASU professor said just last year.
Even if we are a person of color, we are still a part of that machine, that white supremacist machine. And we likely got there because we were able to mimic enough of those languaging practices to be able to proceed, to succeed. It doesn't make it right.
Languaging practices, okay. Carol.
I can tell you that starting with the election of President Obama, we saw the racism on campus increase, but the racism was taking a new form. And I would say that when they talk about anti-racism, that what they're really doing is promoting racism. They're promoting racism against white students, students that they deem as privileged because they came from two-parent families, but they are also the racism that comes from lowered standards. Those Black young people that they are not requiring to learn standard English are not going to be prepared to function the way they should in our society. No wonder they're angry. No wonder they're trying to burn down everything.
Dr. Swain, it's always wonderful to see you. Come back soon, please.
Thank you.